1969 Pontiac model lineup. These aren't in any particular order. Le Mans, Tempest, GTO, Grand Prix, Firebird, Executive, Catalina, and Bonneville. Pontiac would offer the Le Mans from 1961 through 1981, and then they took a bit of a hiatus, coming back in 1988 through the 1993 model year, offered in 6 generations. 1969 falls in the 3rd generation, which was produced from 68, 69, 70, 71, and 72. The Le Mans could be had as a 2-door coupe, 2-door hardtop, 4-door sedan, 4-door wagon, 2-door convertible, and 2-door sedan. All mid-sized Pontiacs received a mild facelift. The 2-door hardtops and convertibles had front vent windows removed. The ignition key was moved from the dashboard to the steering wheel column. Gauge faces go from steel blue to black. Cars with 6 cylinders had overhead cam -6 badging on the body and door sills. The Sprint option was available on all 6-cylinder cars except for the Tempest wagons. On the topic of design, let's compare 68 Le Mans on top, 69 Le Mans on the bottom, starting in the front. And as you can see, both of these retain the same Coke bottle shape, but the vent windows are gone on the 69, versus if you look at the 68, there are vent windows. Also, side mirror shape has changed. It goes from circular to rectangular on the 69. 69 Le Mans badging goes from the front fender on the 69. It's on the rear quarter on the 68. The front fascia is totally different between these two. Bumpers are different, as well as grills are different. Turn signal indicators on the 69 look a bit smaller than on the 68. Moving to the side profile. Better look at that badging. The Le Mans is on the front fender on the 69 versus on the rear quarter on the 68. But that's about the only major side difference thing that I can see. Moving to the rear. The back bumper and taillight situation are different between these two. Jumping inside to take a better look at the dash and interior situation, which you've guessed it, both are different, but which one do you like better? Hey, I just want to jump in here real quick and welcome you to what it's like. Whether you're watching this on the big screen TV in the living room or on the small screen over the commode, just know that we do classic cars on this channel. We love talking about the history, specs, design. We like showing these cars like you've never seen them before. If any of that sounds of interest to you, subscribe and hit the bell icon next to it to never miss a video. Let's talk specs. 201.5 inches long, 75.8 inches wide. It rides a wheelbase of 112 inches. It weighs 3,402 pounds. Price, $2,830, which would be equivalent to you spending $24,496.16 in the year 2024. And fun fact, this car is cheaper than yesterday's Packard, which is super interesting once you compare. I don't believe that the inflation calculator can calculate everything. Total 1969 Pontiac production was 870,081 units, of which total Tempest/Le Mans was 104,116 units. And of that number, 82,817 were the hardtop variety. Moving on to engines. 2 engines on offer to choose from in a couple different flavors. Starting out in the proverbial basement, even though this engine isn't really a basement engine because it's the 250 cubic inch displacement inline. Overhead cam 6, 4.1 liters. In 1969 was the last year for it. This puppy was good for 175 horsepower, 4,800 RPM, 240 pound-feet, or 325 Newton meters at 2,600 RPM, with a bore of 3.875 inches and a stroke of 3.5 inches. Compression was 9-1, 7 main bearing crankshaft. When backed with a 3-speed manual, 0 to 60 could be had in 10.3 seconds, with a theoretical top speed of 115 miles per hour, while achieving an average of anywhere between 15 to 18 miles to the gallon. If you wanted a little bit more power, baby, you could get the 350 cubic inch displacement overhead valve V8 5.7 liters. It was good for anywhere between 265 all the way up to 330 horsepower at 5,100 RPM. 380 pound-feet or 515 newton meters at 3,200 RPM with a bore of 3.88 inches and a stroke of 3.75 inches. Compression 10.5 to 1 when backed with a 3-speed manual transmission. 0 to 60 could be had in 6.5 seconds. Theoretical top speed of 130 miles per hour while achieving an average of anywhere between 10 to 12 miles to the gallon. This car just recently sold at Classic Auto Mall, but with that said, they still have an extensive inventory. I'm talking over 1,000 cars currently for sale when recording this episode. 4 hours of operation, directions, and to get the full scoop on Classic Auto Mall, be sure to click the link below after the show. Let's talk styling on this car. Just look at how far these headlights sit back in here. The grille is plastic. Notice when it comes to this nose piece, notice how the squares change shape. Turn signals are down below. Pontiac badging at the front here. Notice the center bulge going back towards the curved windshield with the windshield wipers recessed. The wheel openings are just capped off with this trim piece. There is a trim piece in the rocker with 350 displaying the engine size. This one has the tack on the hood, cowl in center. This car does have drip rails which start right here and they run the cabin of the car. Side mirror placement is right here at the base of the A-pillar. Look at how this body convexes. The rear wheel well openings are just capped off, same as in the front. Awesome mag wheels with the red line tires. This is on bias tires. G70-15. Check out this line, how it comes off the rear. Rear bumper is a totally different design than the front bumper. Vinyl door panel, armrest as well as door handle to pull the door shut. It says Lemans, so you never forget what car you're in. Door handle to get out, window crank for the big window. Operates like this, goes up super nice and smooth. Notice it's curved. There are no vent windows. Coming down inside the pedal box down here, you have footwell vents off the side here, which is a really nice feature to have, especially if you have a muscle car. Extracts heat from the firewall during the summertime. High beam switch on the floor, parking brake pedal, parking brake release, brake pedal, gas pedal. Just take a gander at this interior. Here is what over the hood looks like.
Here's what first person over the hood looks like.
On to the button switches and knobs. 3 pods sit directly in front of the driver. In the first one has the gasoline gauge at the top and then warning lights for oil pressure, generator, and coolant temperature. 120 mile per hour speedometer in the center pod with odometer and brake warning light. Clock in the last pod. 8,000 RPM tach on the hood. Headlights, windshield wipers with wash feature. Key, lighter, radio, heat and ventilation de-ice controls, aftermarket gauges for oil pressure and coolant temperature, drive modes read, park, reverse, neutral, drive, super, and low.
Up above, you have sun visors. They're a bit on the slender side. They have a cutout here for the rear view mirror. Another sun visor over there. The rear view mirror is a daytime, nighttime rear view mirror. Just doesn't advertise it on the rear view mirror itself. On to the glove box test. Here's our test subject. Here is my hand for reference. Here is the glove box in question. And the glove box in question is now an aftermarket radio head unit. There is space underneath. This one comes with the JVC warranty. I guess that's the radio unit. The glove box door has 3 cup holder indentations, so you can put cups here for the drive-in. So either you or the passenger could have an extra cup, or here, yes, either you or the passenger can have an extra cup on this door, or somebody from the back. There's 4 seats in this car, maybe 5. 3 cup holders. There is a console in the center. It is rather deep. I don't think the glove... Yeah, the camera doesn't fit inside there. But it looks like you could put a lot of stuff inside there. Getting in the rear. This one has a seatbelt lock, which is on the back of the seat itself. And that's the seatbelt lock right there. Just take a gander at that space to get back there. Here is what the front looks like from the back. Let's take a quick gander at the greenhouse, or the pillar to glass ratio in this car. It's nice because it's white. But if it was black, I think it would feel kind of cozy in here. Anyway, this is what the visibility looks like out the back from the back seat. There is a parcel shelf with what looks to be aftermarket speakers back there. That's a pretty good sized parcel shelf. Seat back profile. Slightly reclined. It does drastically dip down in the back there. The seat bench itself is probably in the medium range. It's not small, but it's not huge either. But with that said, there isn't that much space to really sit back here. I'm 6'2", and I kind of sort of got negative knee space. I have to sit like this. There's really not that much room back here for a full-size adult. Creature comforts. There is a coat hook. There is an ashtray, as well as armrest. The windows do go down back here. There is a dome light in the center. Everything found on the passenger side is found on the driver's side. And the window operates like this. So it's all one motion. Got the windshield washer reservoir right there. It is a 2-belt system. One belt runs the alternator water pump fan combo off the crankshaft. The other one runs the water pump fan combo and the power steering unit. Got the 350 high output. This one's got a dual master cylinder with power brakes, which looks like it could be aftermarket. 12-volt battery up here. Massive fan shroud. There's really good bathroom read right there.
On the positive side, it's good to see a Le Mans slash Tempest instead of seeing the full-blown GTO. I know it's basically the same car underneath, but cool engine selections, all things considered. Against it, rust prone. Now it's time for Would You Rather. Two scenarios today. In the first scenario, would you rather have a 1969 Chevrolet Chevelle or 1969 Pontiac Lemans or 1969 AMC AMX? I'm going to leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free to pause the video. On to the second scenario, 1969 Ford Mustang or 1969 Pontiac Lemans or 1969 Plymouth Barracuda. Once again, going to leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free to pause the video. Now it's time for Name That Tune. First person to get both the name of the band and the song title correctly in the comment section will have their comment pinned to the top of it. Thank you all so much for coming out and watching this. If you have any stories associating a 69 Pontiac Le Mans, put them in the comment section below. Until next time, toodaloo! If you've made it this far, you've made it to the after show. This part of the video doesn't have sound or commentary, but you could see this car in its entirety like you've never saw it before. Enjoy.